Hi, if you clicked on this video, there's a good chance that you would like to be attractive to women. First of all, let me congratulate you because you are willing to work on yourself. That takes courage. Watching the entirety of this video is going to take even more courage, because you are going to discover a simple truth that will make you go, why did I not see that before? By the end of this video, you will know the difference between a nice guy and a good man, and why women like good men and not nice guys. You will be equipped with awareness of all the qualities you need in order to be the most attractive version of yourself. While watching, stay open and pause to take time to reflect on your own behaviors and motivations. But first things first, what is a nice guy? A nice guy is a man that displays often overwhelming acts of kindness towards women, with the expectation of immediate romantic or sexual reward. And when his efforts remain unreciprocated, he gets frustrated. A nice guy is prone to putting women on a pedestal. He might do so to the point of making a woman uncomfortable. He might coincidentally have all the same hobbies and interests as her. He might agree with all of her worldviews and personal opinions. He's always at her disposal and calls even when she doesn't call for it. He constantly fawns over her or drowns her in flattery and compliments. Why is this bad? Because it's dishonest. A nice guy pretends to agree with everything a woman says. A nice guy uses a variety of forms of emotional manipulation in order to conceal his intentions from a woman and deceive her. He believes that he just needs to act in a certain way and then the woman will fall for him. He idealizes a woman and then gets frustrated when his expectations are not being met. When he gets rejected, he might initially ignore it. A nice guy will relentlessly continue his pursuit of a woman despite any subtle initial signals she gives off that she is not interested, up until the point where women are eventually pushed to the point of forcefully spelling it out to him, "I'm not interested, leave me alone." Once a nice guy realizes he cannot get through, he doesn't keep his cool and move on from the rejection. No. He burns the bridge between him and her until there's nothing left but the charred remains of his bruised ego. He then makes nasty comments about her personality and her appearance. Finally, he concludes with that he's too good for her anyway, but if she decides for him, he will treat her just right. Deep down, a nice guy has no respect for women. He is driven by his desire to get his own needs satisfied and objectifies women as the means to do so. This becomes apparent whenever a woman rejects a nice guy and in the way a nice guy pursues a woman. He checks on her every few minutes, he leaves multiple messages, and when he doesn't get a response, he leaves even more, fearing something went wrong with his plan. When he then doesn't get a response, he gets upset. But he seldomly takes responsibility when he gets rejected. He refuses to consider, if I keep doing what I'm doing and not a single woman responds positively, maybe that's on me? Instead, a nice guy carries on with the same behavior, growing ever more resentful with each rejection he receives. He projects his insecurities outward to the women that reject him. A nice guy's inability to self-reflect and self-improve condemns him to a life of bitterness, cynicism, and exponentially painful rejection. But let's stop right here. Everyone is in need of love. You, me, everyone. We all start out with no experience, not knowing what women really want. And how we behave later might be a result of our very first experiences, but that doesn't define you. If you can even remotely identify yourself with any point I just mentioned, now is the moment of change. Shed the bitterness and pain that may have come from not being loved or being rejected often. Let's look at what makes a good man. A good man doesn't let his negative experiences with a few women dictate his views on all women. A good man treats women as individuals. This is beneficial regardless of the outcome of his past encounters with women. When a past encounter was positive, he doesn't set unrealistically high expectations upon the next woman. When a past encounter was negative, he doesn't project his baggage onto the next woman. Everyone gets rejected. Rejection is normal. Finding love is about finding someone that fits, not trying to get everyone and anyone to love us. Even when you're desperate for love, do not let that define you. When a good man gets rejected by a girl, no matter how painful it feels, he knows when to quit, accept the loss and move on. He won't demand that she explains herself further. He won't accuse her of disliking him because he treated her too well, or because it seems to him women only like bad boys and he can be one too if that's what she wants. He won't send her insulting messages until she elicits an emotional response. A good man carries out acts of kindness with no ulterior motive. A good man displays acts of kindness towards women because being kind and respectful is in his nature. A good man makes compliments when he senses that the situation calls for it, not to get a woman into bed. He doesn't love bomb, showing overly strong affection until the relationship has progressed to a point where such affection can be received and reciprocated. He treats women as adults who are capable of looking after themselves and not fictional characters who are desperate for a knight in shining armor to save them. A good man views women as his peers and equals. He neither behaves subservient to a woman, nor does he view women as inferior by expecting immediate gratification for his attempts of seduction. A good man won't enthusiastically agree with everything a woman says and does. If he disagrees with something she's said, he will make it known, respectfully. He holds true to his values and expresses them with women in a mature and rational manner. Most important of all, a good man is aware of his shortcomings. He reflects on himself constantly and takes responsibility to improve himself. He doesn't compare himself with others, he compares himself with his past self, always looking for ways to improve. Being a good man doesn't mean being free from insecurities. A good man is not afraid to admit them. Where a nice guy will channel his insecurities into bullying others and bringing them down, a good man owns his insecurities and looks to address them in a healthy manner. He acts empathetically to himself and others. Everyone encounters rejection, pain, and self-doubt at one point. It is important to remember that this doesn't define you. If you're currently in doubt of whether someone will ever love you, let me tell you, this is entirely up to you. It doesn't matter where you are today, it matters where you can be, if you so choose. Do not shame yourself for past events. Accept the status quo for what it is and then identify all the areas that you think need work and start working on them. If the pain sits deep, consider therapy to get through it. And then get to work. Treat everyone as equal with kindness and respect. Know your worth and keep improving. And when you encounter adversity, take charge of the situation, keep calm and keep moving. This is the key to real and genuine attraction. This is what makes a good man that women enjoy being with.